What would make you happy? What would really, really fill your heart with joy, admiration, and peace? Think about that and be specific about it. What will make you happy today, tomorrow, next week? What do you have to do to obtain happiness while you're here on this earth? Is it a job? Is it making a certain amount of money? Is it living in a certain area? Is it having a certain type of car? Is it wearing specific clothes? Knowing a certain person or people? What will make you happy? Be specific about that. Like, what would really, really give you peace and happiness? Ask yourself. And what is stopping you from achieving that happiness? What obstacles are in the way? What journey do you have to embark on in order to achieve that happiness? I'm asking you to be specific because you need to know what does it take to get there, and how would you know when you actually got it, when you actually achieved this happiness, all right? Don't be vague and say, oh, I will be happy when it's sunny outside, or something. Why would that make you happy? What about that would make you happy? Is it because you can take a walk around the neighborhood? Is it because you can walk your dog? Is it because, what is it, all right? What would make you absolutely happy, and what stops you from attaining that happiness? Sometimes we get so caught up in our world and our daily routine that we feel that we don't have control over the wheel, all right? We're not in control over our days. Or our weeks. We get so caught up in the norm of our jobs, to working 9 to 5s and just doing the same routine all the time, that we forget that we can shift the dynamic of all of those things anytime we want, all right? If we're not afraid of change, all right? So a couple of things that I think about that stand in the way of my happiness, or the things that will actually make me happy or help me to obtain a certain sense of happiness, is eliminating certain distractions, all right? How much time do I spend on the phone? How much time do I spend watching TV? How much time do I spend just scrolling down social media sites, for example? How much time do you spend doing those things? All right. So as I ask myself that same question, I have in my mind what will make me happy is having more control of my time. All right. Because life is not too short. It's just that time is too valuable. So if I'm spending a limited amount of time doing things that are not contributing to my ultimate happiness or what I ultimately want out of life, I need to stop doing those things. I want more time, so I'm going to be more mindful of what I spend a majority of my time doing, all right? I want more control over my thoughts and my emotions, so I'm going to be mindful of the people that I surround myself with, about the interactions that I get engaged in. This is important because this will contribute to my happiness. How would I know when I achieve that happiness? I will know by just waking up and going to sleep, realizing that I accomplished several things in my day that I wouldn't have accomplished if I was subconsciously living throughout the course of my day like I do normally. Just get up with no plan in mind, with no goals to achieve, and I just wake up. First thing I do is check my phone. First thing I do is cut on the TV to figure out what I want to watch. Distractions that keep me from that happiness, all right? Control over my emotions. I wake up in the morning and somebody says something off the wall, something that doesn't define who I am, and then just like that, I'm upset, I'm angry, all right? I have no control over my emotions or my thoughts because I'm subconsciously allowing other people, other things, other external factors to control my thoughts and my emotions, all right? But once I ask myself what will make me happy, and I come up to the conclusion that it'll make me happy to have control over my thoughts and my emotions, having control over my time, I can figure out what are the factors that are standing in the way of completing that journey. All right, I can actually have I can make a conscious effort, all right, to actually turn off the distractions that prevent me from happiness. As you embark on this week, create a to-do list of the things that you want. What do you want out of life? And how would those things that you want out of life contribute to your happiness? How much money do you want to make a year? Do you want to make 50,000? Do you want to make 180? How much? What is that like? And what would that money do for you? All right, break it down in small bite-sized pieces. All right, if you had $4,000 a month, if you were making $4,000 a month or $2,000 bi-weekly, what would you do with that money if you had it? All right, how much will go towards savings? How much of it will go towards expenses? How much of it will go towards just enjoying yourself? How would this money make you happy? What kind of car do you want to drive ultimately? Like how does it look? What kind of features would it have? These are the questions. All right, be specific about what will make you happy. All right, be specific. Don't be vague. The more vague you are, you're not going to know how to reach for it. Be very, very specific. What would make me happy? So make a to-do list of the things that you're going to accomplish this week. All right, things that'll get you closer to that ultimate sense of happiness. Right. All right, and don't just create a to-do list of things that you're going to accomplish. It's one thing to have goals. It's one thing to have a to-do list of all these things that you're going to accomplish throughout the entire week. That's great. Have a to-do list of things that you're not going to do, right? Things that you're just going to hold yourself accountable for not doing. I am not going to care about what people have to say about me. I am not going to make excuses as to why my life is where it is and why I am where I am today, and I'm not driving myself closer to where I want to be tomorrow. I will not continue to sleep longer than I have to. I'm going to get up in the morning early to maximize my time. If that's what's going to make me happy, I will not be at work later than expected. I will not be late, all right, for work. I'm going to be punctual. Make a list of things that you're not going to do, all right, because you're going to hold yourself just as accountable for the things you're not going to do, just as much as you're going to hold yourself accountable for the things that you say you're going to do, your goals and things like that. Come up with a growth list as well. You have a to-do list, you have a not to-do list, and you have a growth list. What is a growth list? A growth list is a list of things, a list of different scenarios or a compilation of fears and insecurities and things that make you feel uncomfortable on a normal day. Things that will make you feel uncomfortable. Like things that cripple you. I don't want to walk out. So I don't want to take myself out to eat on my own because I don't want to have the world to perceive that I'm lonely. Or I don't have anyone. I don't want to take myself out to the movies. I don't want to walk in the park. I don't want to put this on because I have this fear of what people are going to say. I have this fear of X, Y, and Z. I have this fear of blah, blah, blah. All right? Create a growth list. Say, this week, these are the things that make me typically uncomfortable, and it has been crippling my life for my whole life. All right, it's been crippling me all the way up to this point. Here's a list of here's a list of fears almost that I'm going to overcome. These are a list of discomforts, all right, that I am going to conquer, that I'm going to break through. All right, here's you can start as small as you want. You can start with just three things that I'm going to conquer this week. All right, because once I conquer those things, I'll be closer to the things that will make me happy in life. Once I conquer the things that I'm not going to do, like make excuses, I'll be closer to conquering the things that will make me happy. Once I conquer the things that I say I'm going to do this week, I'll be closer to conquering the things that will make me happy. All right, I'm going to visualize the life that I want. I'm going to visualize my surroundings, the people that I want to surround myself with. These are this atmosphere, this environment that I'm in is going to make me happy ultimately, and this is what it takes to actually get there. Be specific. Be specific. Don't be vague at all. Be very, very specific, and that's going to open up a whole world. Knowing that you have a journey, you're going to be able to see things clearly as you go along. All right, these are the things that have stopped me from this happiness. These are the things that I've been doing to hold me back from a sense of happiness. All right, and once I get there, once I achieve this sense of happiness, I know that I've arrived at that point because I had to conquer certain milestones in order to get there. Right. So as you embark on this week, have those three things in mind: a list of to-dos, almost like a list of goals that you want to accomplish, all right? Things that you're not going to do, make excuses, all right? Fall into distractions and things like that. And also, you're going to create a growth list, fears and things that you're going to overcome, things that make you feel uncomfortable on a normal day. All right, you do those three things throughout this week, you'll be closer to what makes you happy ultimately.